Good afternoon, Csun for News. My name is Michael Ramirez. I am with Julian Pineda and with Maria Iglesias. We are outside the campus of Csun. We're gonna go around and ask different type of students about their culture, about their religion, about their diversity, about their backgrounds. We want to know more information about them from their points of view.
Yes, Michael, we want to ask people why they act a certain way, why they dress a certain way, why they speak, and have the certain beliefs they have today.
As we all know, CSUN is one of the most diverse universities we have so far. And even though we are diverse, we still don't know much about each other, rather than why we dress the way we dress, why we believe what we believe. Further in this video, we get the chance to know more about them.
Stay tuned and pay close attention. Hey, Carol, where's your parents from?
Guatemala.
What do you know about Guatemala?
Well, I know that we were in the 36 civil war.
Like, what is your culture? What is your religion in Guatemala?
My religion, well, it's Christianity.
How important is Christianity for you guys?
Highly important.
Why do you say that?
Because we believe in God and we try to practice what the Bible says and just try to be a better person every day.
What is the difference between the transition from Guatemala to the United States? Are you able to practice some of your customs from Guatemala, or it's very difficult over here in the United States?
It's a little bit difficult because you have to assimilate to the culture from here, but at the same time we try to keep our roots so that we don't forget where we're coming from.
How important is religion in your family?
Religion's it's not too important. Like it's very like self-explanatory. Like if you want to be a certain religion, like it's not forced upon you. It's very open, so you don't have to pick and choose. You can just go through whichever one you want to. Like I'm Christian. My mom, she's Buddhist, so it's very diverse like that.
Do you think media has a great influence on how we perceive people, and why?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes religion and culture is kind of forced upon people. Like certain families kind of will force their child to attend church or force their children to believe in something that they really don't want to, and it's not really open and democratic.
So my question to you guys is, what's your definition of culture?
I think culture can be shaped by where you're born and how you grow up and the environment that you grow up in. So even if I'm a Korean American, if I were to grow up, some place that isn't really crowded with a lot of Korean culture and Koreans, then my culture would be different from theirs. So yeah, I think it's shaped by the environment and how you grow up and where you're born. Yeah, I think that's all taken into consideration.
Just like I said before, just like she said, the environment that you're involved in, or, the location where we live, or the food that we eat, or the people that we always are with, or, those are really big influences in my life that really influence my life. And, you know what I mean? Based on the culture or beliefs or whatever that is.
I think culture does impact us greatly because it makes us, affects how we think, affects how what we see, and then also it shapes us who we are. So if you think about the American culture and how different it is, you can never have one culture in you. There's always different kinds of how you act. Yeah, so it does affect us greatly.
Of course, as a 1.5 generations, after I grew up in Korea and I came back to America, it's definitely could see the cultures here, and a huge difference. Especially for me, it takes time to kind of adjust even in here, but still time to time I kind of find myself there maybe uncomfortable, maybe time to time.
Hi, we are with Maria. Maria, what religion do you belong to?
I'm a Muslim. I follow the religion of Islam.
How important are these religions for you?
My faith is very important to me because it's a part of that's how I built my values, that's how I gain the way of life, and that's how I look at the world, kind of. And it's a part of who I am. My religion is part of who I am.
Is your religion really important to you?
Yes, it's a part of who I am. And I've grew up basically following my faith.
Do you know a lot of people here in CSUN that belong to the same religion?
Yeah, I'm a part of the Muslim Student Association, which is the Muslim group. It takes in a lot of non-Muslim students as well. It's where you talk about faith, it's like an open environment. We can talk different topics.
Hi, I'm here with
Sulay Saldana.
Sulay Saldana. What is your definition about culture?
Culture, for me, is music, the food, the lifestyle you live, like I mentioned, like the music, dancing, food, how you cook the food, the people. So a lot has to do with religion as well. So as Latinos, we're really religious. Okay. We like a lot of music. We always listening to banda, corridos. Yeah, we do. And then the food, tacos, burritos, enchiladas. So like a lot has to do with, for me, the basics for culture would be religion, music, the lifestyle, food.
How important is religion in your culture?
In the Latino culture is really important because we're very conservative. So we always make sure that we have God with us. And then we base our choices upon if it's right or wrong, if we're going to be punished or not. So religion plays a lot of importance in the Latino culture.
Good afternoon. Do you know anything about culture?
I think culture is the very being of everything, whether it comes to this country or even this school. It's the reason why I chose this school, because there's such a big diversity of the culture. Without that, you have inevitable ignorance.
Do you feel lucky that here in America there's freedom of religion which we could express? Because in the Middle East and different parts of the world, like for example in the Middle East, like in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, there's no freedom of religion. But here we have the option to choose whatever you want. Do you feel that we're lucky or not?
I feel like that's the way it's supposed to be. I feel that whoever and whatever you believe in, you should be free by all means to believe in it. So.
Last question. Do you think that in the next years people are going to keep being more religious, or you think it's going to start decreasing during the years?
People have been and always will be more religious. I feel that hopefully what has happened is that people will be just more educated.
Okay, hi, I'm Maria. I'm with Chris. And Chris, I wanted to know, what are some values or traditions that your culture does or values?
Well, we have La Semana Santa. I'm from, my family's from El Salvador and Guatemala. So they're from Catholic religion. So we mostly honor that tradition. If not, we mostly honor El Salvador and mostly the cultural days that we have there.
How important is culture to you?
Culture is very important. It shows you who you are and where you're from, and what type of roots you have in your family. It's basically an identity that you keep by yourself.
So as we went around interviewing people at Csun, it was very interesting to me to know that some people think differently about their cultures and that some people have different opinions and perspectives of what religion and culture is to them. Although, as we interviewed the group before, they seemed that they all had the same idea of what their culture is and how they interact with each other and how it affects them and affects the actions that they take. And the most interesting thing about this project was, for me, knowing that other people have different beliefs beyond what they appear to have or beyond what they think they might appear to have. So, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. As I went around and asked people about the culture, I noticed that media has a great influence on the way people dress, act, think, and the style of clothes they wear.